Hmm. Welcome back, Colts fans, to the Voice of the Colts podcast. I am your host, Reef, the self anointed voice of Colts Nation, with another episode here for you guys. We have a little bit of a short episode today, right? We're going to talk about how this is a must win game going into Kansas City for Daniel Jones specifically. We're going to talk a little bit about some concerns about Charvarius Ward's injury, and we're going to do ourselves a little preview on the game and so much more. But before all of that, I do have to address some things. Obviously, you guys have noticed. Some things are a little different around here. I mean, I'm obviously in the same room. I got fat ass headset on my head. I'm no longer doing this from the 4K camera I have on my phone, which, to be quite honest, watching it on YouTube, I don't even know if it uploaded in 4K or not. So, whatever. We've changed our platform here a little bit, so I'm doing things off of my computer now. Not the best visual quality, but we are going to have more flexibility as to what we could do. I'm going to have some clips to play for you guys later on. I'm not going to show you guys the clips. You're going to hear audio only for the most part. And also, I have opened up a Discord server. So I have asked around and I have gotten a lot of interest around the Colts Nation for joining me on this podcast, whether it be as a guest or a co-host. And we're going to work all that out over these next coming weeks. But we will have guests coming soon to the show. If you're interested in being a guest, if you want to speak on the Indianapolis Colts here with me, go ahead and join the Discord. I'm going to drop the Discord server link in the description of this video. And you can follow me on all social medias and you can request a link from there if you need to, or just talk to me directly from Twitter or TikTok or Reddit, whatever you need to do, right? So there's a bunch of ways that you guys can get on, but we're gonna start having guests so that way you have a little bit more voices aside from my own. You know, because I know I got a great voice. I know I got a beautiful face. But I'm sure you guys want to see some more representation for the Colts just to show how wide our fan base really is. And so, yeah, we're going to have that Discord set up for you guys. It's already set up. So just click that link in the description, join the Discord server, go ahead and put a little message like, hey, Reef, I want to talk about the Colts. I've been a fan since 1990, whatever, whatever it is. I know some people say they've been fans since like Jeff George days, whatever. You come in and you talk to us, join the community, and we'll be sure to get you on camera, or at least on the mic, on the airwaves with us after one of these games, one of these days. All right? So, with all that being said, I mentioned at the beginning of this show, Daniel Jones must win game. And this is big. And like the reason why I think this is a must win game specifically for Daniel Jones, right? I think the Colts team as a whole, like our playoff chances, they they don't get destroyed by losing to the Chiefs. Granted, it's our second loss in the conference, our third loss overall. I think we're still a safe bet for the playoffs, regardless of the outcome of this particular game. The reason I think it's a must-win game for Daniel Jones specifically is, let's be honest, Colts fans, over the last 2 weeks, I don't know about y'all, but I know me. And I know when I'm watching Daniel Jones play, there's a different feeling, man. There's a different feeling over these last 2 weeks. We went into the Steelers game with all the hubris in the world and the confidence, the faith. You know what I mean? Like we saw him and we're like, Daniel, Indiana Jones is the MVP. I got on a few episodes of this podcast and I was like, ink the deal today. I don't care if it's 50 million, 45, whatever millions. Yeah, give it to him. That's what I said. Okay. I'm starting to walk that back a little bit. I am. I'm starting to walk it back a little bit. Just a smidge, a smidge. Guys, I'm not bailing. I'm not bailing on him. But part of me feels like we gotta start taking a little precaution here. Remember, this guy's due up for a very big contract after this season. Like, we can pretend that he's not going to sign for over $40 million a year. I don't see it being realistic. He's right now we're 7-2 or 8-2. 8-2. Right now we're 8-2. Okay? We're probably going to win the AFC South. We're going to the playoffs. I think we can go far in the playoffs. I think Daniel Jones is going to finish top 5 in yards. I think he's going to finish top 5 in completion percentage. And he's going to have a top 5 record in the NFL. Right? those are just the trends that the way the trends are trending, if you will, right? Here's the thing. The reason he needs to win this game is we have a tough schedule going forward, right? And I need to see the confidence back. I don't know. I'm not a confidence expert. I'm not even a football expert. All right? I make that very clear here, guys. I'm going to make that very clear because I don't like the way some people come at me for my opinions. But I'll be very clear. I'm no expert in this stuff. Okay? But what I see from him and what I feel watching him, I don't feel confident, dude. Like the first few weeks I'm watching him, he's poised and then there he's doing his thing, you know? He's letting it fly a little bit. He's dropping the ball now. He's throwing interceptions. He's getting hit. Like the offensive line all year long wasn't the greatest in pass protection. We could go through maybe PFF grades. We could go through film if you want to go through film, whatever you want to do. It wasn't the greatest, right? They were doing much better run blocking than they were pass protection. But in the first 7, 8 weeks of the season, we saw Daniel Jones, stay in the pocket. He'll take a shot, but he'll throw the football and he'll throw it accurately. He'll do right. Now it's like he's a little scared in the pocket. He feels a little. I don't know. It just to me feels off. Something feels off, and I want it fixed today. Obviously, we're not playing today, so hopefully they fix it at practice. So that's a better thing. I want it fixed. I want it fixed expeditiously, man. It's Daniel Jones. We're entering the time of the year where it's playoff football in November, playoff football in December before the playoffs happen in January. And I just want to feel confident going into January. Right now, I think we have a great football team. I think we have a fantastic secondary, which I'm going to get into later in the show. I think we have a fantastic offense. 31 points a game? I think we're sitting at about 31 points a game. We're unstoppable on offense, sort of unstoppable, unless we're turning the ball over, which he's been doing, and he almost did more of in that Falcons game, which hey guys, I don't know about y'all, but I was pulling hair out. Guys, I don't have as much hair. I used to have a lot more hair. I don't have any more hair. I pulled it all out. I yanked it. I was, You know what I mean? It's crazy. I didn't go to a barber, chat. I said chat. I'm like streaming. I didn't go to a barber. I just pulled it out watching Daniel Jones play football. I know it's like an overreaction to a degree, and I'm a dramatic person. Let me tell you something. If you're new to this show, if you're just tuning in to the Voice of the Colts podcast, I'm a dramatic guy. You're going to have to get used to it. You could cry about it in the comments, and boy, have some people cried about it in the comments. But you could do that all day long. It's not going to change who I am. I'm still going to be dramatic. And I'll tell you something else. You're going to appreciate the level of theatrics I pull if the Colts win the Super Bowl. Like, you guys have no idea. I'm the guy you're going to want to listen to and celebrate with when the Colts go far and we succeed. I'm the guy. I'm telling you. You have no idea. I mean, you might have some idea. If you go back and watch my first episode, I was thinking we were Super Bowl bound immediately. You'll see some hints of it. That I'm not just dramatic for the negative stuff. I'm very dramatic for the positive stuff as well. Very dramatic for the positive stuff. So I want to get back to that point, but with the way Daniel Jones has played football over the past 2 weeks only, it's really only been the past 2 weeks. Being completely fair to Daniel Jones, it's only been the last 2 weeks, but it's been the last 2 weeks. I don't have a fresh image in my brain of the Colts playing this fluid game of football that we've been playing all year long. I don't have that fresh image in my head anymore. It's been replaced and marred by a 6 turnover game against the Steelers and a freaking overtime nail biter against the Falcons. What are we doing, guys? I want to get back out there and I want to win this game so badly. I want to put Pat Mahomes to rest. And I think it's a good transition to talk about, well, actually, before we transition to that, one major bit of news, I wouldn't call it major actually, there's been a lot of clarification since this news dropped, as many Colts fans have been stressing over the last 2 days, prior to me recording this at least. Daniel Jones was listed on the injury report. Initially with a calf injury, but now they're saying it's a fibula, but they're saying there's no need to worry. He was a full participant. Today is Friday. So I record this on Fridays. So as of Friday, November 21st, he is fully participating in practice again. He's back and he's good to go. They aren't concerned about the fibula injury, so that is good news for us. Which hopefully he plays a fully healthy game of football. He's not hit so much. He's not scared and makes him hesitate a little bit and then take a hit, kind of like what we've seen over these last 2 weeks, just a little bit, you know. I know some of you guys are gonna get upset with that, but you gotta blame him for some of this. It's hard to just sit there and just, the offensive line was terrible last week. Like, yes, they haven't been that great the last 2 weeks, but dude, we can't just sit there and protect Daniel Jones, and absolve him of just below average performances, dude. It doesn't work this way. So it's been rough. It's been a rough 2 weeks for him, and this is a must win for him, so we can at least get ourselves back into that we're the best offense in the league mentality, that mode. We're gonna go and play, I think, the Texans next, and then the Jaguars in Jacksonville in 2 weeks. And those are our next two games, and I really want him in his bag for those games. We saw what the Texans did yesterday or Thursday. For those of you guys watching on when I publish this on Saturday, Thursday we saw what happened. We saw what the Texans did. That defense is for real, there, dude. They smoked the Bills. I know the score was close, but good God, they were all. Will Anderson had the game of the year maybe for an edge rusher. That was unbelievable game from Will Anderson. And it's going to be tough going into him. I need Daniel Jones to be Indiana Jones. He's been Daniel Jones the last 2 weeks. He's been Daniel Jones. I need Indiana Jones back, okay? Because a big thing about this week is the Chiefs have the bigger chip on their shoulder. They are, in true fashion, must-win football in November for them. They are currently sitting at 500. I believe it's 5-5. This team has to win. I mean, they probably have a decent chance of making the playoffs, even with a loss. But I would actually maybe say less than decent. They're out of the running for their division at this point. 5-5. I mean, they would need a meltdown from the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are this insanely good football team, but we don't know. We don't know. You know, that's the thing. We just don't know. Like, offensively, any given day on offense, they can look really good. They haven't looked that great since they lost J.K. Dobbins. But defensively, man, they're monsters. They're monsters on defense. So I don't know if they lose out. Nor do I care. I don't care if the Chiefs win the division or not. They might not make the playoffs, and they're going into this game must-win mentality, much bigger chip on their shoulder, and they have a very, very talented roster. The one thing I would like to say is that we're not afraid of them. We're not really scared of them. Yeah, I think that the Colts, we have Lou Anarumo, who's I think 3-3 against him as a defensive coordinator when he was the DC for the Bengals. 3-3 against the Chiefs, against Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs, by the way. Um, and I think we're such a well prepared football team that there's not a team in the NFL, regardless of talent level, that I don't feel confident in us being able to beat. I want to play this clip, and it might have made more sense to play it earlier when we were talking about Daniel Jones. This is Alec Pierce on Good Morning Football talking about Daniel Jones. I'm going to play this clip for you guys, about a 50-second clip. I just want you guys to hear it. This is what gives me a little bit more hope in that Daniel Jones is going to correct all the mistakes here. He's going to fix what's happened over the last 2 weeks, and he's going to be a much better quarterback. Hearing things like this. This is Alec Pierce on Daniel Jones.
He's not like he's pretty vocal, I'd say, but he's not like the biggest like rah-rah guy, you know, kind of in your face. But I think he just really leads with his like just kind of his like work ethic, I'd say. Like he's in here just I see it every time I come here, I see his car in the parking lot. He's in here grinding film all the time. Have a really good job of like just making sure, like communicating with us, making just more on the same page, right? So like he'll kind of go over some extra film with us receivers and be like, hey, like, you know, we got this play call up this week. If this is the defensive coverage here, like I'm gonna need you to do this here or throttle in this zone or break away from this defender. So it's good to kind of just have that knowledge and just, you know, it's come up several times this year where I'm like, oh, this is the exact look he's talking about. And I knew exactly what he wanted from me because then we're on the same page, you know?
Guys, he's orchestrating the offense. I love that. Like, I know that we should have probably already known. Like, maybe I'm being silly for being overly excited hearing that clip. Like, maybe I'm being a little silly, sure. But, dude, you hear the way he's talking about. He's like, yeah, he's telling me if I see this, look, go here, do this, and do that. It's like, That's what I want in my quarterback. The command, the fact he's in the parking lot before anyone gets there. Everyone says he practically sleeps in the Colts facilities. Like, this is what I want from my quarterback. I have a lot of faith that we're gonna fix the problems. I have a lot of faith that we're gonna fix the problems going into that game. And again, I know that the Chiefs have that bigger chip on their shoulder, which does concern me. I don't want to lie, it does concern me. But I think we have all the pieces necessary to beat them. I think we're good. Like, we have defensively, and we're gonna get to talking about the secondary in a moment. Defensively, I think we have a great defense overall. I think we have a great pass. I don't want to say great pass rush. We have a good pass rush. We're gonna be missing DeForest Buckner, and I have some injury news on that as well. But I think we're good. We're ready. We have all the answers for anything they can throw at us. And I just feel like at the end of the day, as crazy as it sounds, when you're playing Patrick Mahomes, you would think defensively, you would think the defense would be the key to victory against a guy like Patrick Mahomes. I don't have any concerns for defense. My concern is Daniel Jones. And hearing that remedies it just a little bit. It gives me a little bit more peace of mind, a little bit of calm, if you will, going into this game. So I appreciate Alec Pierce for that sentiment there. Now, I told you we were going to talk about that secondary. Officially, Charvarius Ward has cleared concussion protocol. He was activated the other day off of IR, returned to practice. Today, on Friday, November 21st, he's officially cleared protocol. He fully participated in practice today. I'm not at the practice fields. I don't know how well they look. I don't know how good they look. I wasn't at media availability. I didn't get to ask any of the questions. One of these days, you guys are going to subscribe to this channel quite a lot. I hope so. If you haven't done so, subscribe. Hit the little notification button so you get notices when I do post. And follow me on all the other socials and stuff. So one of these days, I could get some media credentials and I can go to Colts media availability and ask them the real hard-hitting questions that you guys want to hear from the voice of the Colts Nation, right? So Charvarius Ward is back. That means we have a secondary consisting of Mooney Ward, who is the number 2 ranked cornerback on PFF. I know some of you guys don't like PFF, and I'm not using it to say he's the second best corner in the NFL. Like, I'm not making that statement, but it does hold some weight. These advanced metrics, I know people hate using them. They hold weight. They definitely hold weight. Charvarius Ward is number 2. Sauce Gardner is number 16, and Kenny Moore is number 21. Dude, we have a monster group at cornerback right there. I'm actually interested, and I haven't looked this up yet. I'm actually interested to see what Cam Bynum is and Nick Cross are at as far as safeties go. Cam Bynum is the number 22 safety ranked by PFF, while Nick Cross is not in the top 50. Yeah, bye. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nick Cross is at 58. I like Nick Cross a lot. I don't, it. I just gave you guys. I just tried to give credibility to PFF. I like Nick Cross, man. I don't think he's amazing. I think he's really good. He's very talented. He's all over the field, man. He's all over the field. See it that low is pretty crazy. I will say, though, his run defense grade is a 76.3. And if we grade them based on run defense, if we grade safeties based on run defense, he ends up shooting up to I don't know the number. It's not ranking them. It's not giving me the number rank. He's in the top 50. He's in the top 50. He's in the top half of the top 50, as a matter of fact. Right around like maybe the 20 mark in run defense grades. So Nick Cross is a beast. We have a fantastic secondary, man. It's incredible. Now that comes with some pause. It comes with some hesitation. And the reason why it comes with some hesitation is because remember who I said was the number 2 ranked cornerback? Charvarius Ward, Mooney Ward, if you will. How he likes to be called, Mr. Mooney Ward. I have an audio bite that I don't think we're going to like very much, Colts fans. It's going to bring us a little bit of concern. But I have to play it because he is healthy. He is activated. He's no longer dizzy, which is a reference to the video I'm about to play right now, this audio bite I'm about to play right now. But I do have some concerns. I'm gonna play the audio for you guys, and then we'll talk about the concerns there.
The first one was just felt like a little migraine. It was a hard hit. I got a headache, so I'll say they're gonna label those as a concussion. The one I had the second time, I was throwing up. getting dizzy. I was getting dizzy for like a month. That wasn't normal. So that was like a real deal traumatic injury from a lot of emotions and everything like that. So it was pretty tough, but I'm feeling good now.
They talk a lot of they know about a freak accident, ain't they? Wait, well,
Now,
you've seen the video.
that was a stupid question, by the way. I have no idea. Hey, he's like, did you see the video? Like, dude, he experienced it. He's the one on the video. Oh my god. Like, he's talking about like it was a pretty hard hit. Like, did you see it in the video? I'm like, dude, you don't have to watch the video to know how hard of it was. He got hit. He got hit. But I want to get to a specific point in this conversation here, and it's gonna come up in a moment here, where he said something that really, again, it really concerned me. It really did concern me. Let's continue.
But how great? I mean, it's just you two guys out there doing your stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. One moment I'm going for the ball, next moment I'm knocked out laying on my back and being part of off the field in a wheelchair. So, I mean, it was crazy. Like I said, that's a big boy, a real big boy. I ain't see him coming. I feel like if I had my helmet on when it was like a normal football hit, I would have been good. But it's just me not seeing him coming, him being like 200 more pounds than me, kind of helped me up. Like,
Big. That's a big weight disparity.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Definitely scared me, man.
You were out.
Yeah, I was knocked out. I never been knocked out. Never had a black guy, and everything. So it was crazy. I was kind of down. I was kind of down if I was gonna play football again because we were like that scary. Because I was thinking about my life outside of football too. You know what I mean? So it was crazy.
So along those lines, what lets you know like you're ready to go just to continue with your career?
This is an important question.
I feel like me again. I feel like Mooney. I'm not really scared no more like I was. Like I said, once I stopped getting dizzy and my eyes started being like kind of cross-eyed and everything like that, that's when I feel like I literally, you know what I mean? So
Guys, he was dizzy for a month. For a month. He was dizzy and throwing up for a month. He said he was cross-eyed. He was talking about not playing football ever again. He was that concerned for his future. And now again, he does finish by saying he feels good. He feels like him again. He no longer feels like that, and he's good to go. It just brings me so much concern because this is a collision sport. He is at risk for yet another concussion. That would be it. That's the season for him. That might be a career for him at that point. If you got to that point during this concussion, guys, it's a tough one. It's a tough sell. I'll be honest, it's a tough sell. That brought me up a lot of concern. Now, I still trust the Colts. Without Mooney Ward, I still think secondary is that good. When Mooney Ward was questioned, like we weren't sure if he was in a clear protocol or not, and he was just getting activated off IR, Jalen Jones was listed as the cornerback number 2. And I like that. I love Jalen Jones. I think the fact that he didn't play more snaps than Mekhi Blackman last game absolutely it enraged me to no ends. Jalen, I'm done with the Mekhi Blackman experiment. I don't know about any Colts fans here, but guys, I'm done. I'm done. Like, he could develop with the practice squad for all I care. I don't want to see it we're coming up to playoff time. I don't want to see it anymore. I think we're good. We have plenty of depth where Mekhi Blackman should not see the field in our football game. And maybe a couple snaps at most, but at the end of the day, I don't even think that's necessary either. I just don't see it being necessary. I don't think he's awful. I just don't want to see it anymore. We've just had multiple weeks where he was our cornerback 1. I'm over it, guys. I'm done. I know I'm being dramatic. And I understand that I'm being dramatic. But we just had multiple weeks of him on the wide receiver 1s. I'm done. D-O-N, done. That's it. So Mooney's giving me a little bit of concern with the presser after today's practice. It's giving me a little bit of concern, but I'm hoping for the best, hoping he can remain healthy, and we have the best secondary in football going forward. You got Sauce. We know what Sauce is capable of. We got Mooney Ward, the number 2 ranked cornerback via PFF. We got Cam Bynum, who's forced 3 turnovers this season, like a monster. We got Nick Cross, who's just all over the field on every single play. and it's just a good time. Then we have Zaire Franklin, we have Jermaine Pratt. I love those guys as linebackers. I know Colts fans, sometimes you guys like to talk about Zaire Franklin not being the best in coverage. I just don't see it. I think he's decent enough in coverage to where I don't understand why we hate on him so much for that. It doesn't make sense. He's so effing good at football. He's such a good coordinator of the defense. Like, he is how the defense runs. We obviously aren't going to have DeForest Buckner. There is news, though, at least not really news, but Shane Steichen offered a little bit of hope, and he said that he fully expects DeForest Buckner to play this season again. He's rehabbing in the facility. He got some kind of stem cell procedure done for his neck or his back, and he did that a little while ago. I think right when he went on IR, and he's now currently rehabbing in the Colts facility. And the word around the Colts right now is seemingly that he will be back for the regular season. If not, I mean, he should definitely be back for the playoffs. But there's a lot of positivity around the outlook on DeForest Buckner's injury. In the meantime, it's got to be guys like Neville Gallimore and obviously Grover Stewart who make big steps up. Leatu Latu is another one. By the way, I did look this up prior to recording, and I'm going to bring it up just to get the exact grade. Leatu Latu is currently ranked number 6 in the NFL amongst all edge rushers with a total defensive grade of an 89.5. He got 6 sacks this year. I don't know how many pressures. I'm not a nerd, dude. I don't like to get into too many of the numbers, guys, but I love that. And I listen, I've said it on this podcast before. I'm pretty much done with the Kwity Paye experience. I don't think it's going to get much better, but I do know it's going to get more expensive. And I think I'm okay. Now, if he gets a contract that feels a little better, sure, I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, it's going to have to be a home discount kind of thing. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I gave us a family rate or something because, dude, I don't know if I could do it anymore with Kwity Paye. I can't do it with Kwity Paye anymore. But Leatu Latu carrying the load for the edge rushers for the Colts. We have a fantastic football team, man. Just going through level by level, just now what I did, like, we have a fantastic football team. This team we're so ready for the effing playoffs, man. And we're really getting healthy now. There's no one that's listed out for this game unless they're on the IR. Like, that's it. Ibukam, is that how you say it? Ebukam? Ebukam, I think is how you say it. Samson Ebukam is going to be active for this game, I believe. Or at least he hasn't been listed as out yet for the game. So that's a nice little pickup to add some depth and stuff. Tyquan Lewis actually is done for, I believe. I'll have to get news on that one. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a news breaker, and I'll get better at getting more accurate news and whatnot as time goes on. But for the time being, I'm not a news guy. So, you come in here, and I'll give you some things that you might not have heard in the interwebs. Mostly commentary, and we'll get more and more accurate information as we do this more often, and I'll have more things prepared for you as we go. I'm also going to introduce some more segments as I bring on guests to the show to make it a little bit more fun and give you guys a little insight of me as a Colts fan because, I jumped into this just immediately, focused on the current season we're in. And I think I want to do, I don't know if I'll be able to do a lot of the offseason. I'll take probably an extended break during the offseason. But at some point during the offseason, before the season starts, I will resume the videos again. And there will probably have a little bit more nostalgic episodes where I talk about my favorite Colts moments and stories, and we'll obviously talk about the fantasy, the trades that we want, the free agent signings we want, the coaches we want, so on and so forth for the off seasons going forward. So that's going to be a little bit more of that. We'll see a little bit more of not just me rambling, but maybe some more segments and different things. But for the most part, I do this because I just want to talk about the Colts. That's all it is. I sit all day, every day. This bye week has been miserable. I don't live amongst Colts fans. And I have all this built up energy where it's like all I want to do is talk Indianapolis Colts. And that's why we're here. And if you feel the same way, once again, join the Discord. Link is in the description. Subscribe to the channel. And I hope to have you guys there. And I'm going to have a really cool, like, saying or something one of these days where I have a really cool thing where I'll sign off with or something and do some cool stuff like that. But in the meantime, I'm going to just maybe let the music play me out. And we'll see you guys after the Chiefs game. Hopefully with a dub. Like, comment, and subscribe, baby.